Plank or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're in a ball right now. It's crazy. It's loud. It's hectic. We're in New York City. But I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 33 of the All Elite podcast, right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for wrestling podcast coverage and more. You can go follow the network on Twitter at NHB Network. You can follow the podcast at All Elite Pod, and most importantly, you can follow myself and my co-host on Twitter as well, at Real Kyle Masters and at Loves to Dream 82. All links are located down in the description on YouTube for you below. Welcome to episode number 33, like I said, guys, titled October 2nd, hashtag Are You Elite? I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the executive vice president of Giggles, the heartbreak chick, Tiffany. What's going on, Tiff?
I'm excited. I'm pumped. Let's go.
It's big day today. As you guys, if you didn't see on Twitter and you're living under a rock for whatever reason, huge announcement came out today about their television show coming up in October, on October 2nd, which we'll get into today. Don't have a lot of details right now. It's being kind of hush-hush. We do have the press release, and we'll basically go over that and kind of give our impressions and what we think. But the big thing I would say, which I pointed out to Tiff here, is like they didn't come out with a TV show name. It just says All Elite Wrestling October 2nd. So we'll get into that a little bit later. We're going to go over Being the Elite this week and Road to Double or Nothing. Road to All Out, episode number 2. Another good episode. Loving these documentary series. But if you're new, welcome to the All Elite podcast, where myself and Tiff, we go over anything going on in the AEW world. We are live right here on YouTube, youtube.com/NHBWR. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers, so please get the word out and share and subscribe so we can change that god-awful, terrible ass URL, and then we can finally have our own URL when we get to 1,000. We're also live on Twitch, so hi to our Twitch watchers, and then hi to people watching on Periscope on Twitter. So we're live in 3 different places every single time we do a podcast. So welcome to the show if you're new to it. We do a lot of cool things here. We do reviews, we do predictions, we sometimes do interviews. We've done a couple interviews already with Maria Ling, who is the animator behind the Being the Elite outro. We also have interviewed Brandon Cutler from All Elite Wrestling. So those are back on the channel right now for you guys to go back and listen to. Also, we have social media, so go follow us on social media at All Elite Podcast on Facebook, at All Elite Pod on Instagram, and at All Elite Pod on Twitter. And make sure you are hitting the bell icon on YouTube and hitting subscribe to let you guys know when we are going live, let you know any updates going forward, any uploads going forward with the network. And all I'm going to say today is some more stuff is coming to the network soon. I kind of teased Tiff earlier. I didn't even tell her what's going on, but you guys get it by Friday for sure. So
rude. Guys, how rude.
That's not rude. It's just a tease.
Fine.
So we're also available on the go, and we're available for everyone. So AP is available for everyone on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, and iHeartRadio. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are available for you. Make sure you are following All Elite Podcasts on there. Thank you for downloading the episode, and everyone who has downloaded the episode, thank you very much to wherever you are listening and taking us on the go with yourselves. We have a t-shirt store. I still have to update the graphic. I told Tiff we'll be working on it tonight. So by the next show, we'll have updated graphics because she has a new version of the t-shirt of the list of husbands on there. So I'll get you the new graphic soon, guys. But right now, you can go check it out at our t-shirt store, AEB Tees. All proceeds are donated to Culture City. If you don't know who Culture City is, they are the official group who are partnered with AEW Wrestling that will sponsor and feature their sensory-sensitive rooms at all events going forward. So all proceeds from these t-shirts are donated to Culture City. whatforapparel.com/AEPs, where you can find that. A lot of cool looking t-shirts on there, so go check it out. And that is all thanks to our friends at KayFabe Tees. Guys, they are an amazing t-shirt store, and we thank them again in every episode for taking us on and being part of their t-shirt store. They got their own t-shirt store as well, KayFabeTees.com. A lot of cool looking t-shirts on there. If you're looking up on the screen, if you're listening on the go check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed. A lot of cool looking t-shirts on there, and they always add new t-shirts to their store, so go check them out. And thanks again to KayFabe Tees. And as always, we need to listen to the executive vice president of the KayFabe Tees, Mr. Beak. Yes, I think that means, Tiff, in terms of today, I think that means that he is elite. There's a hashtag, are you elite? I think Mr. Beak is elite.
I think he's totally elite.
I think he's very much elite. So that is their executive vice president and their official mascot. And we have an official mascot, believe it or not. And that is Fat Pharaoh. And I'll let Tiff show him on the screen there. Looking awesome as always. Actually looking a little trim today. And then actually, it's our own investigator, Tiffany, who actually caught him. I'm going to transition on screen for you guys. Tiffany caught Fat Pharaoh working out. Look at that.
Yeah, like, I was in the other room. I was minding my business. I come into the room, my bike's set up. He's on it. He's watching True Blood. I don't know what's going on. Like, he's trying to show me up. I see how it is.
So Fat Pharaoh getting in shape for All Out. Look at that. Good for him.
He's gonna be in full gear.
Good for him. So he's coming with you to All Out. Tiffany's actually going to All Out weekend. So if you guys are there, go up and say hi to her. Say hi to Fat Pharaoh. You can take a picture with Fat Pharaoh. She will have him with him all weekend. So can't hide from us, Fat Pharaoh. Can't hide from us.
No. You're gonna
see you.
Be famous, bro.
We see you. Also, guys, we have a Discord. If you guys don't like, or if you guys like Discord, know what that's all about. We have one. Link is down in the description. If you don't know, Discord is an awesome app you guys can download for free on your app store, and lets you talk and chat with people in the community and fans of the podcast about wrestling, different kinds of wrestling. There's a lot of cool interactive stuff on there. Free to download, free to join. Click the link down in the description after you download the app to join our official Discord. And if you guys heard in the beginning, you don't know, we have an official theme song, and that is all thanks to our friends, These Wolves, for making Dead to Me the official theme song of the All Elite podcast, covering everything All Elite. Thank you very much to those guys, These Wolves. Awesome tune. I love this song, guys. Go check them out. They have their own YouTube as well, and I have links to their Spotify and such down below in the description for you below on YouTube. So if you're taking us on the go and you want to know, head on over to YouTube, click the link, and find them out and check them out. And go check out These Wolves with the official theme song of the podcast, Dead to Me. Awesome stuff. Love that theme song. Love it. So thanks again to you guys.
Real MVPs.
But big episode today.
Yes.
We were waiting because this morning I was messaging Tiff. I'm like, man, like, I really hope it's not one of those things. Like, it always happens with me and Tiff. Like, every time we do a podcast, something always happens while we're recording. It always happens. Like, something gets released. Like, it's been happening with the pay-per-views. There's been a match release or some big things happening for the pay-per-view every single time we're on the air. And I just told him, like, it's going to happen the same way. We're going to be on, and then they're going to release a statement. Thank God they didn't. They released the trailers. A bunch of wrestlers released a trailer for their TV show. Cool looking trailer. August 2nd. Mark your date on your calendar at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. For the first TV taping, and we'll go over later more on that press release. But huge. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, I'm questioning why there's no actual name for the show. Unless they scrap that whole idea, we'll keep you guys informed with the podcast going forward if there's any news around that. Why they didn't go with Wednesday Night Dynamite, or maybe they didn't release it right away. Maybe the logo is not made up yet. Or maybe they're just not doing that. Maybe they scrapped it and they're just doing All Elite Wrestling. Who knows?
I don't know. But then again, like, October's not that far away. Mm-hmm. And you know, maybe we'll get that like later. So maybe today was really just the hype of like that we're finally like know when it's going to be on television.
But I wouldn't. But you think about like another company, Ring of Honor doesn't have a name for their TV show. They just call it Ring of Honor. So maybe they go into that direction and just call it All Elite Wrestling. So
Right.
we'll have to see what happens. But I know for a fact that they did trademark for Wednesday Night Dynamite. But we just don't know if that was maybe, in my thinking now is was it just for a special that they wanted the trademark so they can do a one-time special called Wednesday Night Dynamite, or maybe it will be the TV show name. So we're gonna find out. We'll keep you guys updated on the podcast going forward. But as of right now, we just have that press release from today. We're also going to go over Being the Elite today, episode 162 and episode 2 of the Road to All Out. As we do, as always, we always go around the wrestling world, the AEW wrestling world first before anything else.
Absolutely.
They do have new merch out for AEW. Put it up on the screen for you guys. There's about 6 different new T-shirts released. I think there was more beforehand we didn't really talk about, but the ones coming out of this week, we have 6 official new T-shirts. We have Kenny Omega's pocket style T-shirt. So it's got a front pocket, and it's the premium soft style pocket tee, and it's got him in like a spring and a cartoon character of Kenny Omega. I'm not even sure how I feel about that one. The only thing with me is it's white.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that they're not liking it, that it's white. I love the little cartoon. It's too high neck for me.
Yeah,
I'm not a tip shirt.
I'm not a white shirt guy. I don't wear white shirts. If I wear a white shirt, it's like around the house.
It gets stained quick. Yeah.
Dark Order has a new shirt. Creepy looking T-shirt there.
I feel like you need that shirt.
Why do I need that shirt?
Because you're a creeper.
Oh.
No, I'm only
wow.
teasing. I don't know.
You hear that, guys? You hear that, guys? Whenever Tiffany brags on me about ragging on her, you guys see why. So, you know.
I love you, Kyle.
Shame. Anywho, so that Dark Order shirt, we got the Brotherhood T-shirt, which is really cool. So it's half of Cody Rhodes. It's Cody Rhodes' logo, but half of him, and then half of like a rendition of Dustin Rhodes. Moxley's got a new T-shirt, and it's got a hat that follows it, which is really cool. A little snapback hat. Sean Spears' Chairman T-shirt, which we saw at Fight for the Fallen. Really cool. It's an official T-shirt on the store now. And then MJF's pink
I kind of want
T-shirt,
this shirt.
Better Than You. Yeah.
Did you see on Twitter that him and Kip Sabian were going at it with his shirt, that he like wiped out the Y and the U, and it said better than MJF, and then like MJF put a tweet back like a disgust emoji. It was pretty funny.
Saw that. Yeah. That was funny. That was actually really funny. But yeah, I like that T-shirt. I like it. I thought at first maybe you know what I was thinking right at first. My first reaction was probably a lot of people out there too. Dolph Ziggler. I got like a big Dolph Ziggler vibe from this, and I think it's because he used to have like really bright colored T-shirts before with slogans kind of like that, not the same. And I actually had to go and I Google search to make sure that he didn't actually have a Better Than You T-shirt, because I actually thought for some reason he did, and he didn't. I looked through all his T-shirts, he actually didn't. So I don't know. I like it. I think
I would wear it.
I probably would rock it. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like it.
It's not too pink. It's got a little bit darker tint to it. So, and speaking of merch, to all you UK fans out there, and if you don't know, there is a way for you to purchase AEW T-shirts. They're taking pre-orders right now at wrestlingstore.com.uk or .co.uk. And they ship out on August 5th. They got 6 T-shirts on there right now. You get the Kenny Omega T-shirt, the Elite Young Bucks, Won't Back Down, Cody Rhodes, AEW Jericho, Unscripted Violence, Moxley, and the regular AEW T-shirt. I've been told that they're going to be adding more T-shirts once they start getting going with this website. So for you guys living in the UK and you want some wrestling T-shirts, wrestlingstore.co.uk is where you can get your official merchandise. Another cool thing is happening in the AEW world. AEW has partnered with LiveSource. So the tweet is as follows. Very excited to announce a partnership with AEW Wrestling. The LiveSource app will enhance our fan experience right from their seats in ways that that's never been seen and done before. This is a quote from someone from LiveSource. So basically, this is a pretty cool partnership that they have with LiveSource. And I'm actually going to pull up the press release right now because this is really cool. And it's another thing that is separating AEW out from the rest of the competition. So give me 1 second here. See, I had it up and I closed X on it because I thought I had too many things up.
Lord. Shame.
That's not a shame. I'm trying to make this stream. I'm trying to make this stream good. Anyway, so LiveSource, the mobile app that enables its partners the ability to offer fans unique collectibles and experiences via live auctions. It's announced its partnership with AEW, so they'll have live auctions with stuff that's been worn and also memorabilia, and that's how they've partnered with AEW for that. So make sure you guys go check that out, and if you're going to it, go to LiveSource's app, and you'll find the AEW link with it. So it's pretty cool. I actually think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, what else is going on in the AEW world? Actually, was announced on. We'll get into that later. Actually, it was announced on being a road to All Out. So we'll get into that later. But first, this is a cool picture I want to show everybody. This is awesome. If you haven't seen it and you're listening on the go, there's a sweet picture that Sean Spears posted of himself and Tully. This is really, really cool. It shows him getting some. I guess Spears pointed out getting some last minute pointers before a match. Man, I love this tandem. I absolutely love this tandem. What we got with Road to All Out this week is even cooler. So I thought it was a really cool black and white type of picture. Man, I think Sean Spears is going to be huge. Like, I really, really think he's going to be huge in AEW. He's definitely going to get his time to shine here. So I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for All Out. Speaking of All Out, if you guys are wondering, BR Live will be showing All Out for $50, regular pay-per-view price. So you are going to be able to watch it on BR Live. I'm told also Fight TV will be having it, and regular ways to order your pay-per-views. So every way you were supposed to, or every way you actually had the chance to order Double or Nothing is the way you're going to be able to order All Out. So I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
And then
I get to witness this in person.
What's that?
I get to witness this shit in person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just rub it in my face. Why don't you?
I'm sorry. We can like FaceTime or something.
So we'll get into today with the press release of the October 2nd day. So here's a press release for you people on the screen. I'll read it out to you guys who are watching or listening live on the go. So the official press release of AEW and TNT. Oh my God! Come on, zoom in. There we go. It wasn't zooming in for some reason. I want to be able to read this. So Warner Media announced today that the new professional wrestling league, All Elite Wrestling, will begin airing as a 2-hour weekly show on TNT Wednesday, October 2nd from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So we have the time slot, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is good. That's what we basically thought it was going to be. The highly anticipated action-packed matches will take place in different cities across the nation each week on Wednesday, starting in Washington, D.C. at the all-famed Capital One Arena. So that's another cool thing. We were wondering if they were going to start in smaller arenas and then work their way up to the big arenas. Then look at this. But we actually I kind of hold ourselves there. We kind of don't know. I think they're anticipating a big sellout for the first taping, so they went big. They could transition to smaller arenas going forward like they've been talking about, but they're going big for the first episode. I think they could just continue doing big arenas, to be honest, right? But we'll see what they have in store. But for the first episode, Washington, D.C., Capital One Arena. Ticket pricing and on-sale date for the televised live event will be announced this coming Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time via AEW social media platforms. So make sure you guys are following All Elite Wrestling on Twitter. For that, and we'll keep on it too and retweet it for you guys as well. So this coming Monday is when we'll know when the tickets are going to go on sale for the televised event. I've been talking about it, like even out of today, just getting the news. I've been talking to my one friend about it. I think we might go. I might go. So I really don't want to miss this first historic event. So I'm going to be trying to go to this since I'm missing All Out. So, and it goes on about what AEW features and all that stuff. So, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be very, very exciting.
Hopefully, in the future, me and Kyle will be able to go to something together.
Yeah.
So
it will. We will.
Next year, it will happen. It will happen. Hopefully, what I was kind of hoping for was that because they had their release like a while ago at Madison Square Garden, I was kind of hoping that it was going to come here, like the first show. So I wonder how come here first. Mm-hmm. But I guess we'll see.
Remember, like I mentioned, that they usually release something while we're doing the show. The Nightmare Family just posted something on YouTube. So.
You're killing me.
Every time, guys, I'm telling you right now, every time. This is like a curse that me and Tiff have. Every time we're on, something gets posted. So, anyways, yes, exciting stuff, guys. Exciting stuff. We'll into it a little bit more once the news and rumors part of the show near the end. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited out there. Let us know if you even plan on going. If you guys are planning on making a trip down for the first TV taping, let us know down in the comments below. Tweet at us, whatever you want to do. Let us know, because I'm for sure most likely going to be going to that first TV taping. I'm going to do my absolute best to get down there. And the big thing is for me is trying to get the tickets, because I'm not sure how that's going to go over.
Yeah.
So
it's just like out. Like it was just a horror to get. I got really lucky.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so if you guys are going to All Out, let me know. Like I'm going to StarCast, I'm going to All Out, and I'm going to Joey Palooza. Like, so please, like, let me know so we could like meet up. I want to meet you guys.
I'm sure
you guys
you're repping your AEPT there, Tiff. So we know. If we have to make you another one.
I think we gotta make another one.
Okay.
I might buy another one, or maybe like
I'll
wear
make you an exclusive one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you make an exclusive one, or you know, maybe we'll see.
How about I make you an exclusive one that on the back of the T-shirt it actually has the list of husbands and like the list, the actual list on the back. On the front it says AEP Tiff or something.
There you go. Like I have like the clipboard in the back, and then all the list of my husbands are on the back. That'd be kind of like badass. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You know. And then somebody made a suggestion that, you know, I should like get a shirt and then like have each husband sign it.
Oh.
How badass would that be? Like I have the official shirt.
Yeah.
Or like AEW related, that I go to like StarCast and I have all these AEW roster guys sign the shirt or whatever. Like we're gonna talk. We're gonna figure this out. So
other than that, we might as well get into it right now, and that is being the elite.
yes.
So episode 162. If I'm saying this right, don't murder me for butchering this. Escalera de la Muerta. De la Muerte. De la Muerte.
Very good.
So I didn't even Google Translate what that means yet. I don't know if you do. If anyone does, let us know in the chat or let us know in the comments. I have no idea. I don't plan on it. I'm sure it has something to do with death. I think muerte in Spanish is death. I think.
Yeah.
I think. Not Spanish. Anyways, we opened up with Peter Avalon and quote unquote creative, the EVP creative team. Basically going on about he hates the gimmick. He wants to change. Like these glasses don't even. I don't wear glasses. Like why I can't see with these on. And so basically this whole thing was a shot at WWE, and it was basically it came from. If you guys didn't hear the whole Moxley podcast with Jericho, this is basically taken from that. It basically was Avalon in the creative meeting. Basically, he's portraying Moxley and how Moxley hated the Ambrose character and what they were doing with him at the time. And then the EVP creative people were saying like, no, that's who you are. You're good at it, and that's what you're gonna do, and it's good shit. And you hear the good shit line. That's when you know right away that this is from the whole Moxley and Jericho thing. So,
By the way, translated into English is death ladder.
Death ladder.
Death ladder. That's right. So
Or ladder of death, maybe.
Death ladder, yeah.
Escalera de la
we're
Muerte.
having an insane ladder match at freaking All Out.
Escalera de la
Let's go.
Muerte. Zero miedo.
Oh God.
Anyways, so he's with the two EVP creative people, and they tell him blah blah blah. He goes, good shit, basically making fun of the whole McMahon and Moxley thing. So that's what that was all taken out of. And then when Peter Avalon left, they had this like weird combo. I don't know what the hell was going on there with sucking of something. I'm not going to get into that because I don't know. It was really weird and awkward for me. I know that's probably what those two characters do, because I'm not yet caught up with Being the Elite. I know what these two guys are from the early days of Being the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and you said it's Matt and Nick just doing voices.
Nobody really knows who it is. I assume it's Matt and Nick, but then sometimes I get thrown off because one of them sounds like Cody a little bit to me.
Oh.
So it's two of them. That's why I'm assuming it's Matt and Nick. I mean, what do you guys think? But
Yeah, it's just another big shot. Yeah.
This has been from the beginning of being the elite that's been going on. So I'm glad like they kind of come back to these characters as well.
So we are doing. They went into the intro from that, and then we had a really short segment with Billy Gunn in a room with his drink. Man, Billy Gunn's jacked as hell, man. I think this guy's still. I'm not gonna say anything else more. He accidentally sits on Marco Stunt, poor guy, and he's like, "Oh shoot, I didn't see you there." And Marco Stunt kind of walks away pissed and kind of says, like, "I'm always forgotten." Like, really sad moment for Marco Stunt. Poor guy. Everyone forgets about him. He's just so small.
Maria says it's Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. We don't know who the characters are. And then I think it was in one of the mailbags that they asked who it was, and like they still weren't gonna release who it was.
But anyways, yeah. So poor Marco Stunt. We moved on. We had our boys' private party. They're psyched. They're being, signing full-time contracts. When they high five, and then in the background you see Rick Knox sees that. And he goes, "All right, tag, switch it up." And then Prior's like, "What are you talking about? What?" And he's trying to make them switch, and he starts counting, and they're fumbling, and they finally switch around. And then Rick Knox walks away. Just another Rick Knox, being the official referee everywhere.
I love these little bits. These are like one of my favorite things of being the elite. But I'm so excited for Private Party. I'm so proud of them. Like I've seen them a bunch of times here, and I'm just excited. But they're just
being the elite segment. Look at that.
Good for them.
Then we had Marco Stunt some more. He accidentally runs into Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus backstage somewhere.
I think it's like before the fight for the fall.
Yeah, and then Jungle Boy jumps off and starts sniffing him and playing with his hair and nodding over to Luchasaurus, and the Luchasaurus tells him and goes, "You know what? We hate bullies too. Stick with us. We got you back." And then Marco follows them off into the distance. So that had to have been because that's what led to him going out with them at Fight for the Fallen. So that was pretty cool. Then we had a Dark Order vignette. I'm liking them. For some reason, for me, I want to. My gut's not fully behind them yet. I think eventually they will. I'm loving the. It's not the guy with the mask. The other guy. I love him. He really showed me how much of a great wrestler he is at Fight for the Fallen, and more than I didn't know about him. So I'm loving him out of these two, and especially in his promo. They cut a promo on what their destruction so far. Then they send a warning basically to the Best Friends at All Out for their tag team match for the winner to get a first round bye in the tag team championship tournament. So
I just got a DM.
Oh.
Okay. So I got a little breaking news here.
We got to slid into the DM.
Slide into the DM. So I got to shout you out, Sigma. You are the MVP. You're awesome. So he said a little info. TV debut date is the exact anniversary of Jericho's debut 29 years ago. October 2nd, 1990. He debuted as Cowboy Chris Jericho in Alberta, Canada. You were the man. Wow. Thank you, Sigma. I love you.
That just makes me think that Jericho is going to be the champion even more now.
Yeah.
I think he's poor Adam Page, but this goes to what other podcasters were saying, especially our boy Jerry there. He's it makes more sense for Jericho to go in as the champion because he's a notable name, and for your first show you want to get to grasp the viewership and go, "Oh, look, I remember Chris Jericho, and he's their champion. I want to go watch him on a different brand with a championship belt." You know what I mean? It's a good way to draw the viewership at first. So, and also I think in terms of storylines, him being the first champion just is amazing. Him gloating with the championship, getting trying to get all the thank yous from the company, and look, I've transcended this company because I'm the main champion. You know what I mean? They can do a lot of stuff with that. But then we transitioned to BT Mailbag. We had 3 people, one really funny one. We had Hangman that started off the mailbag this week. One of the questions was, will you be riding a horse into the ring at All Out?
I would mark out.
He said he was pretty mad at it because he's asked and he's gotten the answer no. So I don't know if that's legit or not. Another question was have any of his former students, he used to be a teacher, reached out to him about being on TV and fighting Chris Jericho, or about being on TV and fighting Chris Jericho. He says a handful have. He's like, I don't check my DMs a lot, so that sucks. And he says, if any of his students want free tickets to any of their television shows, just hit him up. And he's like, except Deontay, you can suck it, whoever Deontay is. Anyways, so then we had Michael Nakazawa answer a question.
I'm glad he made it on here with the BTE mailbag finally.
This was funny. I thought this was funny because he had the question of, will there be a mid-card title in AEW? He goes on and says, I don't have the motivation to go for a mid-card title. He literally throws himself in the pool of, I'm actually a jobber and belong on the pre-show. So the fact that he considers himself a pre-show talent and he deserves to be there is kind of cool, and it's funny as well. He suggests that they get a pre-show title. He's like, I'd go for that.
Like
yeah, like make a gimmick belt to that. I can see them probably doing something, or maybe Nakazawa making something up with that.
Like a paper plate, like a paper belt.
Yeah.
And
Kenny Omega's back in the BT mailbag. He's asked, are you not allowed to use good night and goodbye bang anymore? He explains that there was a meaning behind it with Fight for the Fallen with the gun violence thing. I don't know why he'd explain that again. I thought he already explained that. He explains the meaning behind the boing, why he chose boing. I guess he was listening to the Mega Man and Sonic the Hedgehog soundtrack on the way to. It just shows how much of a nerd he is. On the way to Fight for the Fallen, and he remembers like when Sonic the Hedgehog would bounce off things, it would go boing, like it would make a big boing effect, and that's what he got it from. So and he does it at the end of this promo too. He goes, all right, good night, goodbye, and boing.
I like it.
And then we get the Young Bucks cutting a promo on the Lucha Brothers challenge for a ladder match at All Out. They tell the Young Bucks that they don't know what they're getting themselves into with ladders, and they go over their history of. They've been in ladder matches with the Hardys. They've been in that crazy ladder match name? They called it. I didn't write it down here, but it's a crazy name for a ladder match type of match. They make fun of Pentagon saying "Zero Miero," and then basically the one brother translates it to zero balls in Spanish. He's like, yeah, I use Google Translate. And then they say that to truly know your enemy, you must become your enemy. And this camera zooms in and then zooms out. They're wearing their masks.
I love it. They did this before too with them wearing the mask.
I sat there and going, I wonder if they're gonna show up at All Out with wearing those masks.
I'm telling you.
Can you imagine? Like they come out dressed as them.
I'm telling you, something's happening at House of Glory in what is it?
Oh yeah, they're gonna jump them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Lucha Brothers are the House of Glory tag team champs. Mm-hmm. So, and then they're facing Private Party. So, like I said, guys, like I'll be periscoping and all sorts of stuff. But, I feel like something's gonna happen at House of Glory. It's just they're gonna interfere. So, we shall see.
But that's it for Beanie Lee's. Very short episode this week. Yeah. Not a lot on it. I'm sure we'll start to get more on the way to All Out. But as for this week, very short. Maybe they didn't want to take a lot away also from the announcement of October 2nd. So we did get a Road to All Out, episode number 2. This is really, really cool. Very, very cool episode, especially the beginning here with Tully Blanchard. Yeah. Very good interview. Talked about Spears reaching out to Tully about beating a Rhodes. Tully brings up the history of him and Dusty and saying he knows personally how to get into the head of the Rhodes. And he also builds up Spears. Like, he builds up Spears to a point, like, if you didn't think Spears could become a star in this company, if you watch this, you know for a fact that my boy is going to be a mega star in this company because he never got the chance to with the WWE or even NXT. He's going to get that chance here, and I am so excited for this because Spears, legit, I don't care what anybody says, is underrated in my books when it comes to wrestling. So, in his how much of a good heel he is, just shows how much of a commodity he is to this company. So, I really do think AEW is going to sees a lot in him and make him a star.
I love the heel of him. I just feel like some people play better heels, and I just love him as this heel character. And I think originally, like, I didn't think he needed anybody, but this just makes it that much sweeter.
Right.
You know.
And then him to pair up with Tully is just even better.
Right.
So we had a Fight for the Fallen Fallout backstage clip here. Darby was initially getting interviewed, but then Havoc and Janela come in. They're all pissed about losing the match, and they're all getting in each other's faces. A big brawl. This was a rough brawl. If you're watching this closely, these guys are like
really
trading shots here. Then they like get all separated at the end, and it leads to this. And I'll put up on the screen. It's officially announced now at All Out. It's going to be Darby Allin, or Darby Allin, not All In. Darby Allin, Janela, and Jimmy Havoc in a triple threat match. Oh my God.
Guys, I told you these pay-per-views, we've been getting builds because since they're not weekly, we've been getting builds within these pay-per-views. So I kind of really didn't see this coming, but when you really think about it, it's just like perfect. And I love that we got this backstage and we saw this. And I when we do our prediction show for this, I don't know who the hell I'm going to pick for this.
I feel like that's got to be stipulation. Well, I mean, triple threat, there's already automatically no DQ. So there's no DQ to this match right off the bat. So you know it's going to be a very, very hectic, all-out, no-holds-barred type of match. So this is going to be crazy. I cannot wait. Just you put three of these guys together, like, oh my God, it just builds a recipe for disaster. So I'm excited for that. It's definitely going to be some sort of like crazy death match. So we'll see what happens. That's something really cool on the road to All Out this week. We got the AEW Control Center. Now I was expecting to hear Tony Schiavone again, but we heard a different voice. None other than Chris Van Vliet. If you guys don't know what he's about, you should know. He makes the rounds with interviews on YouTube and such. He gets his own little scene here in All Out. I don't know if this means he's going to be signed to AEW as a Control Center guy or what, but this was huge for him. So congrats, Chris, for that and getting your little spot there. And he talks about the story so far between Moxley and Omega, and then it transitions into a promo from Moxley on Omega, and this was so good.
God, these promos, they get me hyped. I'm so hyped.
I'm just so shocked that like we knew how good he was as Ambrose in the WWE, right? Like we knew like of him, like what good stuff. Like this is probably the best promo work he's done ever in his entire career. So this was so good. This was really, really well done. There was even some subtle shots at WWE. He's like, while Kenny Omega was like, Japan doing all these crazy things and having 5-star matches, I was throwing pie in people's faces. Like, you know what I mean? He was saying like, I love wrestling and I would love to wrestle. While Kenny was doing that in wrestling for his love of wrestling, I was throwing pies in faces, in WWE without even saying it. He brings up how like Kenny Omega is this myth, this legend, this historical Japanese style wrestler, and he says that Mox goes on and says like I am now wrestling in Japan. Like you can see he's in the G1 Climax. I'm wrestling not only just to wrestle there for the love of wrestling, but there to learn the traits of the Japanese style of wrestling, just like he did to get prepared for this match with Omega, because he's saying that he's taking it very, very seriously, more serious than what Omega is actually taking Moxley. Yeah, Moxley's saying that Omega's taking Moxley as a, like he's not taking it seriously, not taking him seriously. So this was really well done. I loved this promo.
When he was like, Kenny Omega the myth thinks I'm a joke, it's not funny. When I break your fucking jaw, this is not a fucking video game that you only get one life. I'm trying to hurt you. I'm trying to injure you. I'm going to. I was like goosebumps. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, this is one of his like best promos.
This is gonna be a good match. I honestly think it's gonna be a good match because Moxley's had some good matches already in the G1 Climax. So he's shown that he can hang with the Japanese style wrestlers and their style of wrestling over there. So we know that you can just tell now that his match with Omega at All Out is gonna be very, very, very well done and very good. So I'm hyped for it. So I think it's gonna add. We're gonna see a lot of what Moxley's learned from over there, and we're also gonna see that brutal, don't give a shit style of wrestling added to the match and try to hurt Kenny Omega. Like we've seen them brawl already so far. They're going to add that into it as well. So
which match do you think is going to end the night? I mean, I know they're both cool. Which one? Because like I keep thinking about this and I'm like, well, we're crowning our first AEW.
That'll probably be the last one. That'll probably be the last match.
I was kind of thinking, but this, I don't know. Like
Omega and Kenny will be third last or second last, but it's got to end with Jericho.
it was the other main event.
Yeah, it's got to end with Jericho and Omega, or sorry, Jericho and Hangman, and because that just sets up like people thinking too. Like people are obviously thinking that maybe if Jericho wins after, they're already going to set up his next opponent. Maybe Punk comes out or something, and then or something. To me, it's so tough with the whole CM Punk thing. Now that he's officially at StarCast, like that's also huge. Like that was massive news that he's appearing at StarCast. That just, again, it puts more of a chance and possibility of him wrestling again in wrestling and him maybe being at All Elite Wrestling. So I'm so on the fence on whether to think he's going to be at All Out or the first TV taping.
Right.
I can't tell. I can't tell because they left us on a cliffhanger at Double or Nothing. People were waiting for obviously Moxley to show up, right? Are they going to do the same with All Out and then have him appear, or are they going to do the same with All Out but not have him not appear and appear on the first TV taping? Have him, that would be a big splash in their first TV taping. You know what I mean? So we know from months ago that they said they have big plans for their first TV taping to make a big splash. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, woof.
JRT said in the chat, commercials are already airing on TV.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It's good.
I'm excited. Oof.
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 Yeah.
That's my thing.
So we'll get into the news and rumors. That's part of the show here. Sorry if it's a short show today, guys. Not a much. We were hoping for more news and rumors to come out. It's been very hush-hush the last week with a lot of other news as well. So we gathered what we could for this one. And again, by the next episode, we're hoping to know more about this TV taping and hoping to get more for that as well. So we'll get into the news and rumors now. I'll start us off here by Jon Moxley. So he's actually confirmed for a main event match in an upcoming Bloodsport event. Jon Moxley has done every bit of pro wrestling he can at this point. He obviously loves it, and now it looks like he's getting very serious because it's about to be a shoot. Moxley have been confirmed for the main event match at Josh Barrett's Bloodsport 2. Mox was actually at the Bloodsport event over WrestleMania weekend alongside William Regal. Fans wondered if they were both scouting talent, and it looks like that is exactly what is going on. Only Moxley was looking to compete. Jon Moxley will be facing Josh Barnett in the main event at Bloodsport 2 on September 14th. This will be just about as real of a fight in a pro wrestling ring that you can get. Bloodsport is described as a semi-shoot catch wrestling competition between MMA and pro wrestling stars in a classical ring. It looks like Moxley's productivity for violence is only beginning. It's really cool that AEW is allowing him to take part in this event as well, but judging by the video he put out about the announcement, he will obviously really be excited about this shoot situation. So I don't know if anyone's seen it. Fight TV actually posted the trailer for this. If you haven't, go check it out. They tweeted it on July 22nd at about 9:47 p.m. Really cool looking promo for this. So that's really insane. So I'm probably going to have to watch this because that's really cool. So it's a semi-shoot style match between an MMA star and a pro wrestling star. So that's really cool. But yeah, at some point in the chat, you better not get injured.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because like in WWE, I really wasn't like a big Dean Ambrose fan, and like now that it's like Jon Moxley, it's like I became such a huge. I'm loving this side to him. But that's
sweet. Like that's crazy how there's something. I didn't even know there was something like that out there. I don't know if this is new or not, but it's definitely gonna make me tune in now to see him go at it, especially him being an AEW star going in against an MMA star. So that's really cool. I can't wait to see that. So
exciting. Let's go. Yeah. And then I know he's like facing. I think it's what is it? Pentagon at Northeastern Wrestling on August 16th. So I'm going to that too. So I mean, I think Darby's gonna. There's a lot of Private Party's gonna be there. I'm following the train of AEW. Like wherever you're going.
It's interesting because actually up here, the Wednesday before SummerSlam, there's actually an OWE event in Canada, in Toronto. Mm-hmm. So the Oriental Wrestling, and then there's actually a couple of AEW stars are going to be there, and Shima is going to be wrestling there as well. And there's still tons of tickets left, and it's on a Wednesday night. So
trying to go.
I might actually book the day off and go up there to go see that. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I keep saying it. Indie
And I just want to see more about this OWE because we only seen a few stars. If my boy T-Hawk is there wrestling, I'm gonna be excited to see him wrestle there. So
I'm a little jealous, actually. I wish I was kind of seeing that. So
I'm gonna see if I pull it up here. Yeah. So it's OWE Toronto. Actually, they're doing a whole thing from the Wednesday to the Saturday. They're doing a couple events.
There you go.
Here you go. Oriental Entertainment. Wrestling Entertainment. Still find that name funny. Yeah, Wednesday, August 7th at 4 p.m. I have the poster here. There's a bunch of people on it that... Oh, God.
I threw you off there with some, like, indie stuff.
Right?
I feel like,
oh, here we go. So, on the poster, I can see there's the Dark Orders on there. Christopher Daniels is on there. Shima T-Hawk is on there, so he'll be wrestling there. So it's really, really cool. So it'll be in Toronto on August 7th at 4 p.m. So I actually might go watch that.
Oh, yeah. You should go. I feel like
and the tickets are really cheap. Like front row ticket right now, they still have front row tickets for they're $70 front row. So
see,
yeah,
you should go. Yeah. You could feel the sweat. I'm
gonna talk to my. Oh, okay. I'm gonna talk to my buddy who watches wrestling around here who's on the AEW train. I'll see if we want to go check that out. So
I'm sorry. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna have to start another podcast like indie wrestling because I've become such a mark. It's terrible.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we said it when Queen was on our last episode. We were saying how, you know, within the next couple of weeks, what are we like 37 days, 38 days to All Out. Yep. So we need to start seeing some stuff because we're only getting being the Elite once a week. Right. You know, they got Road to All Out. We need to start seeing some appearances. We need to start seeing people jumping people. We need to start seeing these builds. I want to see more stories. So we got plenty of weeks to go. And this is where we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it in the indie scene. Mm-hmm. I was Cody and MJF were just in Mexico. Speaking of which, since we're talking about that.
Speaking of which,
MJF wants a piece of Delta Airlines.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen Jericho too. Has been on this Delta train that they've been bad stars. This is actually gonna deteriorate me from going to Delta in the future.
They're all bad. I mean, it's just how it is. It's just nobody really cares anymore, and it's just. But anyway, so this article, being a pro wrestler involves a lot of traveling, and sometimes this means that you have to encounter certain obstacles. You also learn what airlines to trust, and right now, it doesn't seem like Delta's one. Chris Jericho was getting pretty irritated at Delta the other day after they disrespected him. Now MJF is joining the band of Delta hate, but it has nothing to do with them holding his bags hostage overnight as they did to Y2J. Instead, Delta has stranded Maxwell Jacob Friedman in Mexico for 13 hours,
Jesus.
Which is incredible. Didn't that happen to you when you went to WrestleMania?
Okay, so Royal Rumble, I didn't get stranded because of the airline. I got stranded because the snowstorm in Chicago in my city was so bad that I got stranded in Chicago. But the airline did little to accommodate me after that happened. They didn't even pay for my hotel room. They gave me like a 10% discount. Thanks.
Sorry, right?
And I walked all the way to the other side of the airport to get the shuttle for this thing too. Like it was just an unfortunate situation.
It's hard. It's stressful to travel.
Actually, my vlog about it is on the No Holds Barred Network if anyone wants to see that.
There you go. It was good. It was actually a really good vlog that he did a couple of days. So he had some good, interesting stuff in it. But yeah, so MJF tweeted, "Hey Delta, I've been stuck in Mexico for 13 hours. I don't want free miles. I don't want a refund. I want the CEO of your company in a room with me alone for 13 hours with the door locked and no cameras. Thank you." He's such an ass. I love it. So.
Right.
I don't know. It's stressful. It's very stressful to travel. I feel like I'm gonna have some stories for you guys when I go to Chicago. I just have that feeling. So, but I will be there. So, and I'll be carrying a picture of Kyle with me because Kyle's coming with me.
I'll be there. I'll be there in spirit.
Yes.
Yes. So that's interesting. So, anyways, get some more news here. So now that we know that it's going to be Wednesdays, October 2nd being the first day, this comes to no surprise, and I don't want people to get too twisted here. This wasn't done because of AEW. This was actually in talks for a while now, but WWE is negotiating with Fox to bring NXT to TV to counter AEW's TV show. It is to try to counter it, but I remember them talking about this last year and before AEW was even a thought. So, where is it here? So, according to the Wrestling Observer, WWE is negotiating with Fox to bring NXT to live TV. While nothing is confirmed yet, WWE is very serious about this move and looking to bring NXT on national TV. Meltzer says that there are negotiations to get NXT on TV, which shocks me to no end. The idea of NXT on Wednesday nights would be an absolute shocker. It's got to go on FS1. They're not about to put it on Fox. The only thing that's official is to talk on. The only thing that's official is the talk on FS1. There's definitely the idea they brought up at a meeting, the idea of NXT getting on television. So it's not confirmed, but they are in talks of maybe trying to get it on FS1. I wouldn't doubt that they would. I would see NXT as some competition, and when count Monday Night Raw or Tuesday Night SmackDown as competition, or Friday Night SmackDown is going to be, because those shows are god awful. But then that's my opinion. Anyways, I'd see NXT to be definitely a competition because NXT does everything right. NXT is the good thing about WWE right now, and I'm shocked that they don't even see that, and it's right underneath their own foot. So if they went to live TV, I think it would be definitely competition. I'd say maybe at first it wouldn't do so well because AEW is fresh, and it would all depend on when NXT would go live on FS1. But it's just talks. I don't know. That's the only thing I would see as competition, because right now, in my eyes and a lot of people's eyes, the booking and the way it's presented on TV, AEW is definitely, I think, clear ahead before it's even on TV now. But anyways, got Brainbuster Radio actually in the chat stopping by to say hi. What's going on? The fine folks at Brainbuster Radio, thank you for tuning in, saying hi. It's always appreciated. So yeah, that's it for that.
So good and bad news on AEW Fight for the Falling numbers. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Fight TV numbers were down outside of the U.S. and Canada market, who got to watch the show for free. The event had a higher price point, and it was just 2 weeks after Fyter Fest, which probably played a lot. Fans got to watch the event for free, were actually down as well. In fact, they were reported down 10 to 14%. There was also added counter programming of the Evolve 10th anniversary special on the WWE network, but it was still noticeable. So most of the BR Live executives were described as pleasantly caught off guard by the success of the last 2 AEW shows, and the pay-per-view numbers were the first show, partially that there has been a significant increase in subs in every show. So actually, it was on Turnbuckle Tabloid last night. Okay. We were talking a little bit about this, and he said that how, what is this is probably and actually this is kind of like, for you guys, this should probably be a fan tweet, like what should AEW do to kind of pull people, like someone like me. Yeah. I watch a lot of indie shows. Kyle doesn't watch as many indie stuff as I do, so I know a little bit more, but how are we getting these other people to come watch AEW, even outside of the States? So somebody like me, I'm fortunate enough, I live in New York. New York's big. There's a million indie shows or whatever like that, but maybe like in smaller states, you're not going to see that stuff. So what can AEW do to bring another crowd? And we talked about the whole thing about like WWE, that everybody's going to compare to WWE because WWE's been around for a very long time. It's the big company or whatever like that. And even me like venturing out like New Japan and stuff and seeing all these other stuff. But what can they do to drag in, new subs and new audience? So I don't know what the best answer for this is.
I feel like there's a little bit I think there was more hype for the other 2 shows. Right. Like there was some hype for Fight for the Fallen. Obviously, their main focus was to support gun violence, but in terms of getting your eyes to view a match, I think there was more hype with the other 2 shows rather than what we got. I mean, there's obviously the whole brothers match was their main focal point, but like I feel like a lot of the other matches didn't get as much of a showing. There was a lot of matches that had zero hype that were actually better than the matches that had hype. Right. So I think that kind of attributed into why Fight for the Fallen's numbers weren't as great as the other 2 shows. If they're talking viewership numbers, and there's a lot of like bugs going on as well. I know they're still getting the kinks out. I know there was like some stuff in the pre-show. I know a lot of people had buffering issues throughout the show as well. So, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that can kind of, deteriorate, like kind of like take eyes off a little bit. But I think mostly it's how they hype the matches. And to me, so far, All Out's been Like the hype is just growing and growing, so they're gonna do obviously well, and all it's being, it's been for like the last 4 months being quoted as a giant show, like that's gonna be the big show of the year. So all up probably will be the biggest show of the year. So,
you know, I said this even last night. And a lot of people like they'll message me, "Oh, I'm not hyped yet. I'm not seeing it yet." And I was like, I think what even with me and Kyle doing this podcast, it's like I kind of and we try not to do this. We're trying not to compare to WWE.
Yeah.
That's your first thing. You cannot compare.
No, you cannot go into this thinking WWE. You cannot. That's got to be taken off. You cannot compare because they're not trying to be like WWE.
Right. It's the alternative. It's something different.
WWE's locked into sports entertainment. They're going for the real life sports feel and more of a sports feel in terms of how they're presenting it, in terms of how they're doing their product with like wins and losses that actually matter and keeping track of that. They're being completely different from them. So if you're going in with the WWE mentality and trying to compare it, you're going to be disappointed.
Exactly. So it's something different. We've only had 3 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
You know, once we get on TV, I think that's when it's going to take off. I mean, I'm excited. Like I said, open mind. You have to have an open mind with all this stuff. And that's exactly what I'm going in. Yeah, there's a lot of kinks. There's a lot of stuff that they need to work on. They're learning. It's a learning experience. I'm excited for it. So
you just got to be more open-minded.
Yes. Don't be closed-minded.
Don't be and it shocks me at the people that are criticizing AEW, and I watch them. I see them on Twitter watch WWE, and then they're criticizing WWE for everything they do. I'm like, then what? What are we talking here? Like, how can you go and criticize AEW when you try to compare it to WWE, but then you shit on WWE the entire time you're watching it?
This is why I say, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
That's what I did. So it's like, I'm not going to complain about it. I just shut it off. I don't watch it. There's a million things on TV. Mm-hmm. There's a million wrestling promotions all over the freaking place. The Fight TV, you got all sorts of stuff.
Don't take it different. We're not telling you not to watch it. We're not telling you right now to stop watching it. We're just saying, we're telling what we did. We didn't like what the product was being shown on WWE TV, so we stopped watching.
Right.
And we just we found something that we liked in all alternative to something that we love, and that's why we're talking about it. That's why I hate when people shit on the people for liking something, and I know it's happening on both sides of the fence here in the whole wrestling community. One thing I laugh at is, and I feel it's so petty and it's so not needed, is people that are tweeting like, "Oh, I just love how wrestling is growing today. I like this, and this." And people had the need to put that out there to say that I enjoy everything. Why? To me, it's like you're trying to trigger someone for putting that tweet out there. You don't need to put the tweet out there. You don't need to put out there that I enjoy all wrestling. I enjoy this, and this. Why are you doing that? Secretly, you are trying to get the triggered people to comment on that, or else you wouldn't be posting something like that. Who cares? If you like all wrestling, why do you have to tweet about it? Just tweet about something you like in wrestling. You don't have to tweet like, I love all wrestling.
That's why, like, I mean, you guys see, like, even on my personal Twitter, like, I watch what I post because I try to keep it positive. I post things that I like. I'm not looking to fight with anybody, and then whatever. That's it. The little things that make me happy, that's what's going to bring me joy. So me and Kyle, we're on this AEW train. It brings me and Kyle joy. If it doesn't bring us joy, we'll no longer do this podcast.
I'm not sitting there tweeting about, oh, look at Monday Night Raw, they suck, they did this wrong. No, I'm just tweeting about stuff I like. I tweet only stuff that, like, if I see a new piece of merchandise I like, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, or I'll tweet something about it. I hate the people that sit there and do the comparison things. I just hate that. That's just, you're asking for it, and you're what's creating the environment more toxic by doing stuff like that. And people have their rights to their opinions. I'm not telling you don't have to. I'm just saying, like, it helps, in a way, if that makes any sense. Yeah, we're just saying that we hate it. I hate to complain about it all the time, so I stopped watching it.
We want to talk about something good, and we hope you follow us in this journey.
Speaking of that, we had a last piece of news here about Jim Cornette hating AEW. You, Jim Cornette, you get these big middle birds here. Don't care.
Give him a bell of shame.
Yeah, you get about 8,000 of those. Anyways, that's going to be about it, guys. We didn't have a lot of news today, especially with the big news today, but I think more will come out. Obviously, stuff always comes out either during the podcast or when we're done.
Right. Wait, did we talk about CM Punk at StarCast?
A little bit. We did.
Okay.
We brought it up. Yeah.
Just, yeah, guys, you know, like, I don't want to get my hopes up with that stuff or whatever.
He'll be there though. If you're at Starcast,
Yeah,
you'll
they'll
meet
be
him.
there. Be there. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm
Um,
gonna go check out the panel and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to do a vlog or something
Yeah,
for
so
us.
stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot more news going forward with this episode. Stay tuned. We're gonna be doing the next episode. It'll be sometime next week. Our other show, Under the Ropes, will have episode 2. Will be sometime next week as well. So you guys are gonna want to follow the NHB, the No Holds Barred Network on Twitter, NHBN or NHB Network. Link will be down in the YouTube description below. Make sure you are following that to stay updated with the Under the Ropes. We have a number 2 wrestler lined up for that. Another independent wrestler, actually from Ring of Honor, House of Glory.
Yes, he's awesome. We're gonna
so-
talk video games with him, so it's gonna be awesome.
So make sure you stay tuned for that, and then we'll keep you guys posted about what's going on with the All Elite world, and hopefully some more stuff comes up by the next episode. If you're someone out there that's listening and would ever like to be a special guest with us on the show, we'd love to have you on. So make sure you tweet at me or Tiff, send us a DM. We can talk. You guys have me on the show. Maybe we can get together a call-in episode and just have you guys all call in and talk some AEW for one episode. So
yeah, I think we do for a call-in episode.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that even as a separate
wow.
episode.
Other than that, guys, like I said before, make sure you're following us on all social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow myself on Twitter and Tiffany on Twitter and Facebook. All that jazz. Everything is located down in the description below for you guys. Make sure you're checking out Discord, subscribing to us on YouTube, and also checking out the official theme song for the band for the official theme song for the podcast, Dead to Me by These Wolves. They are down in the description below for you guys as well. Other than that, that's going to wrap it up, guys, for episode number 33 of the All Elite Podcast. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the Executive Vice President of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, Tiffany. And, guys, we'll see you for the next episode.